Hi, Namaste. In today's class we'll be focusing on the warriors, warrior 1, 2 and 3. So it's going to be a great workout for our legs. So let's get started. I'll see you on your mat. So let's settle into our mats. We're going to start in a supine position. So just come to settle into the center of your mats, slowly lowering yourself down vertebra by vertebra. And just come to lie on your mat with the soles of the feet planted, the knees comfortably bent, and you can place one hand onto your belly and one hand onto your chest. And just close your eyes and start to connect to your natural breath. Just becoming aware of your breathing and noticing the rise and fall of the chest and the belly with each breath. So close your eyes and just settle into the present moment. And since we're going to be working with our warriors today, let's set an intention for strength. And not just physical strength, emotional strength, maybe courage. The strength to be authentic, the courage to speak your truth. And just hold that intention and breathe gently through it. And now on our next inhalation, let's just reach the arms up above our heads. You can interlace the fingers and press the palms away from you, giving yourself a good stretch. And then return the hands to the mat and draw your right knee into your chest and just hug that knee, allowing the back to release. And then gently start to straighten that leg, flexing the foot and drawing the thigh towards your chest. You can just hold it here, keeping it stationary. Loosening up those hamstrings. And now you can take hold of the foot or any part of the leg that's comfortable for you, and let's just open up to the right hand side. Just hold and breathe, placing your left hand onto the left hip just to encourage that hip to stay planted. Now you can return this foot and return it to the mat. Inhale, drawing in that left knee, hugging that left knee to the chest. Releasing any tension in the lower back. And then start to straighten that leg, gently encouraging that thigh to ease towards the chest. So slowly waking up that hamstring, feeling that stretch at the back of the thigh. And then you can just come to stillness, supporting the back of the thigh with the hands. And now take hold of the foot and just open up to the left hand side, placing your right hand onto the right hip. And let's return that foot to the mat. Take hold of both knees with the palms of the hands and let's just move into some hip rolls just to warm up our hips. We use our hips a lot in our lateral poses like warrior 2. So let's just make sure they're nice and warm for our class. And now you can alternate, rotating in the opposite direction. And then crossing those ankles, we're just going to gently rock our way up to seated. And then you can come over into tabletop position, resting on your hands and your knees. The hands are stacked beneath the shoulders, the knees are hip distance apart. And we're going to work with some dynamic cat-cow. So inhale to arch your back and gaze ahead. And then as you exhale to round, we're going to sit back into a child's pose. And then ease forward, bending those elbows, lifting up to arch for cow. Rounding for cat as you exhale down into child. Inhale to move forward and arch for cow. Exhale to round your back, sit back into child. Inhale forward and arch. Exhale back and round. Inhale forward and arch. And exhale back and round. And now come back up into tabletop position with a nice neutral spine. So tucking in your tummy, zipping up that core, extending the right leg back and just gently rocking onto the ball of the foot, waking up those toes. And then you can start to float that leg up into a nice parallel position. Point your toe, and we're just going to work with some gentle crunches. So just crunching in and extending back. Exhale as you crunch and inhale to extend. Just keep working through it. We'll do 10 on either side. So count in your own time, inhaling and exhaling with each movement. And then you can plant that knee back onto the mat, extending the left leg out behind you, rocking back and forth as you wake up those toes, that calf muscle. And now you can gently float that leg up so it's parallel to the mat. Point your toe, exhale as you crunch, and inhale to stretch. Just keep breathing through it. Counting to 10 in your own time. And when you've completed your 10, you can return that knee to the mat, tucking those toes under as we lift our sit bones for our first downward dog of the day, pressing into the palms, the fingers are wide spread. Let's walk our dog. So bending one leg at a time, just easing into it, warming up, finding your position. And then once you're nice and comfortable and you found your stance, you can settle into your dog, dropping those heels to the mat, dropping the chest towards the thighs, allowing the neck to completely relax. Holding your dog and just breathing through it. And now on your next inhalation, we're going to roll forward into high plank. And then drop down for upward facing dog. Tuck the toes under and lift up for downward dog. Roll forward into plank and drop down for upward dog. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, upward facing dog. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog, and inhale to roll forward, upward facing dog. Tuck the toes under, and let's find our way back into downward dog. Now reaching that left leg up, pointing your toe for three-legged dog, and then exhaling, bringing knee to nose. Inhale to extend, and exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. And now this time we're going to plant the foot between the hands. So exhale, planting that foot, finding your way into a low lunge. So find your position here, pressing into the ball of the back foot. And then slowly lift up for high lunge. So balancing in your high lunge, gently gazing ahead, finding that stability in the legs. And now we're going to exhale and shift to face the long edge of our mat for Warrior Two. So in your Warrior Two, your back foot is lined up with the heel of the front foot. Your knee and your ankle are perfectly stacked. at 90 degrees. The arms are extended at shoulder height, and you're gently gazing across the middle finger of your front hand. So find your position. You can sink down into it and just gently gaze across that hand, holding your pose. And now you can flip the front hand to face the ceiling. Reach up and over for reverse warrior. Hold your reverse warrior. Now let's come back through warrior two. Dropping that elbow down, resting it on the knee, reaching up and over for extended side angle. So in your extended side angle, you're trying to create a perfect line from the fingers all the way down to the toes, stretching through that side body. Now inhale as you come back up to warrior two. Interlace the fingers behind the back, stabilize your position, find your balance. Inhale to open up that chest, and exhale as you lower the torso down in front of the bent leg for humble warrior, and then you can drop your head. Inhale to come back up, stabilizing with the arms, finding warrior two. And now we're going to straighten that front leg, heel toe the back leg in slightly to shorten your stance for triangle pose, maintaining that perfect line. So the heel of the front foot is lining up with the arch of the back foot. Inhale, extending those arms, and exhale as you shift the torso across, dropping down for triangle, remembering to maintain that beautiful elongated side body in this pose. So you really want to focus on maintaining that elongation in the torso, and you can drop down to any point that's comfortable for you. You can place your hand on the mat, you can drop it down onto your shins. So just find a comfortable position, focusing more on the alignment than the flexibility. And just hold and breathe. Now gently gaze up at your top hand as we inhale to come back to standing. Shifting that front foot to face forwards, reaching up for star pose. And now we're going to shift both feet so that the toes are slightly in, the outsides of the feet are parallel. Exhale, placing the thumbs into the sacrum, hands on the hips, and gently move forward into Prasarita Padottanasana. So find that elongation in your spine, and then drop those hands down, resting on the fingertips. And just hold your position. Toes are slightly in, outsides of the feet are parallel, and you're pressing into the outsides of the feet. And now let's place the hands back onto the sacrum. Inhale to lift up, shifting to the other side. So now your right foot is facing towards the short edge of the mat. Line up those feet again. Heel is lining up with the arch of the back foot. Inhale and raise those arms to shoulder height. And exhale as you shift across, finding your way into triangle pose. Again, maintaining that elongation in the side body, gently gazing ahead, or you can gaze at the mat. Holding your position, you can keep a micro bend in the front leg to support your hamstrings. And now let's gaze up at the top hand and gently inhale to come back to standing. Bending your front leg, you can heel toe to widen your stance as we find our way back to warrior two. Arms are strong, and you're gently gazing across the middle finger of your front hand. Knee and ankle are stacked on the front leg. You've got a gentle outward rotation of the knee as well, just to open up those hips in this position. And just breathe and hold. Beautiful, strong pose. And now you can flip that front palm to face the ceiling. Inhale as you reach up and over for reverse warrior. Exhale back down through warrior two. and then drop down into extended side angle, creating a perfect line from fingertips all the way down to your toes. Now inhale to come back to Warrior Two. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Broaden through the chest. Draw those shoulder blades in. Inhale to lift up. And exhale as you lower the torso in front of that bent leg. And then drop the head. Humble Warrior. And now inhale to come back to standing. Straightening those arms out. Finding our way back into Warrior Two. And now we're going to twist the torso to face the short edge of our mat for high lunge. Hold your position. Exhale, hands to mat. Coming back into low lunge. Sweeping that leg up for three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog, and really stretch it out. And then drop down into downward facing dog. And just hold your position here and breathe through it. And now we're going to bend our knees and just drop down into extended child. Okay, let's gently lift up. And raising those sit bones, we're going to come back into downward facing dog. And we'll just repeat that sequence. Now that we know it, we'll move a little bit faster. So raising your right leg up, knee to nose. Reach it up for three-legged dog, knee to nose. One more time, and then plant that foot for low lunge. Inhale as you come up for high lunge. And exhale as you turn around into Warrior Two. Reverse Warrior. Warrior Two. Drop down for extended side angle. Inhale back up for Warrior Two. Interlace the hands behind the back. Broaden through the chest and drop down for Humble Warrior. Inhale to come back up. Straighten that front leg. Heel toe the back leg in slightly, arms up, and exhale as you drop down into triangle pose. Inhale to come to standing, shifting both feet to face forward, hands to hips, thumbs to sacrum. Inhale, broaden through the chest. Exhale, Prasarita Padottanasana. Come to rest on the fingertips, elongate that spine. Inhale, hands onto sacrum, lift up for star. Shift your front foot to face the short edge of the mat. Inhale, arms out. Exhale, triangle pose. Inhale to come back to standing. Exhale, Warrior Two. Hold your position, widen your stance. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, Warrior Two. Hands behind the back, interlace your fingers, broaden through the chest. Inhale, and exhale to drop down for Humble Warrior. Inhale to come back up. Find your position in Warrior Two. Shift that torso for high lunge. Exhale, hands to mat. Sweep that leg up for three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. And find your way back to downward dog. Dropping those knees, coming to rest in child's pose. Now let's slowly look up at our hands. Tuck those toes under, coming through tabletop into our downward facing dog. Find your position. Now sweep that right leg up for three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, and plant the foot between your hands. into low lunge. Drop the back knee, untuck those toes, and lift up for crescent lunge. Gently gazing ahead. Exhale, hands to mat, tuck the toes under on the back foot. Plant that back foot so that the toes are deeply in. Straighten your front leg for pyramid pose. In this position, your legs are in railway tracks, so they're slightly wider than hip distance apart. Your hips are aligned, your back hip is forward and your front hip is back. And you're gently easing into a hamstring stretch. Now bend that front leg and lift up your torso to find warrior one position. Again, check the alignment of the hips. Gently gaze ahead. You can allow the back to arch slightly. Your hands are in steeple fingers or upward prayer. Hold your position. Your knee and your ankle on your front leg are stacked. And now from here, we're going to exhale, placing the hands to heart center. Planting your weight onto your front leg. Gently ease up for one-legged mountain. And then return that foot to the mat. Stabilize again through your front foot. Find a very stable base. We're going to lift up our back leg and ease forward for warrior three. So keeping the hands where they are, gently lift up your back leg and lower your torso down for warrior three pose. And now place the hands onto the mat for standing splits. And then you can plant your right hand and lift up your left arm for half moon balance. Gently gazing ahead or gazing down at the mat. And then return that hand to the mat. Find your standing split position. Bend that front leg. Plant the back leg. And lift up again for warrior one pose. Take a deep breath here. And now let's exhale, placing the hands onto the mat, framing that front foot. Finding our way into our low lunge, dropping the back knee, untucking the toes, lifting up for crescent lunge. And then exhale, hands to mat, tuck the toes under on the back foot, sweep that front leg up for three-legged dog, and drop it down for downward dog. And just breathe and hold. And now we're going to repeat on the opposite side. So inhale, raise that left leg up for three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Plant that foot between the hands. Find low lunge. Drop down that knee, untuck the toes, and lift up for crescent lunge. Hold your crescent lunge. Inhale, and now exhale, hands to mat. Tucking the toes under and planting that back foot into railway tracks, slightly wider than hip distance apart. Rotating the back foot deeply in, straightening that front leg for pyramid pose. You can keep a micro bend in the leg. Just work with whatever's comfortable for you. Beautiful hamstring stretch. And now let's bend our front leg and lift up for warrior one pose. So just shuffle those feet until you find a stable position. Bending that front leg so that the knee and the ankle are perfectly aligned. Stabilizing through the back foot. Allowing your back just to arch slightly as you gently gaze ahead or as you gaze up at your fingers. Hold your position. Beautiful, strong pose. Now exhale, bringing the hands to heart center. Stabilizing through your front foot. And lift up for one-legged mountain. Hold your position and breathe. Step back for warrior one pose. And again, just stabilize. You may need to shift your feet slightly. Find a stable base. And now we're going to ease into Warrior 3 pose. So keeping the hands at heart center, pressing into that front foot, gently lifting up and dropping down for Warrior 3. Hold your position, fix your gaze, fix your drishti. And now you can plant those hands onto the mat for standing splits. And then keeping the left hand planted about 30 centimeters away from the baby toe on the left foot, we're going to raise the right arm for half moon balance. And now let's return that hand to the mat, finding our way back into our standing splits. And then bending your front leg, planting that back foot, maintaining those railway tracks with your legs, and lift up for Warrior 1 pose. Holding your Warrior 1, gently gazing ahead, and really broadening through the chest, drawing those shoulder blades in. Take one more inhalation here, and then exhale, hands to mat, finding your way into low lunge, dropping the back knee, untucking those toes, and lifting up for crescent lunge. Gently gazing ahead, allowing that back to arch slightly. Exhale, hands to mat, tuck the toes under on your back foot, sweep that front leg up for three-legged dog, and exhale, returning to your downward dog. And just hold your dog and breathe. And now let's drop our knees to the mat. You can widen your knees and bring the soles of the feet together and gently drop down for extended child. And now let's walk our hands towards our bodies as we come into a seated position. And we're going to gently ease down for our relaxation. So bringing those feet in front of you, slowly lowering your torso down, vertebra by vertebra, as you come to settle on your mats. Hug those knees, bringing both knees into the chest and just rock from side to side. And then placing the arms out at shoulder height, we're just going to windscreen wipe for some gentle supine twists. So moving from side to side, releasing any tension in the back. Let's do one more. Then come back to center, sweeping those arms between the legs, finding the balls of each foot. Let's open up for a happy baby. So drawing that tailbone down, keeping the back fully supported, allowing those hips just to drop down further. The soles of the feet are facing upwards. And just breathe through it. And now if you'd like an extra extension, let's just straighten those legs. Otherwise, stay in your happy baby pose. So do whatever works for you. And just hold and breathe. And now let's bring the soles of the feet together, dropping down onto the mat. And we're going to slowly work our way into our Shavasana, our final relaxation. So straightening those legs, allowing the feet to flop out to the sides. The hands are by your sides, palms facing up. You can move the neck from side to side just to release any tension. Release any trapped flesh from the body. Close your eyes. And just come back to your natural breath. Trying to deepen each inhalation and each exhalation. Just breathing through it, staying in the present moment. If any thoughts come, just let them pass without attaching to them. So try and encourage your mind just to stay focused on your breath. And now let's slowly become aware of our bodies on our mat, so rubbing the fingers and toes together, rotating those wrists and those ankles, pointing the toes. Inhale and reach those arms up and over. You can arch your back slightly, giving yourself a full stretch. And then exhale, holding those knees, rocking from side to side. And then gently rolling over into a fetal position. And slowly lifting up, coming back to seated. Come into easy pose or half lotus. Inhale, reaching those arms up. And exhale as you bring the hands down to heart center. Namaste. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Take care.